So, intention setting. We started doing it, we started contemplating the things that we bring into our breath, the things that we want to let go of, and making space for that flow. And deepening that process is so important. Deepening it in many different ways. There's the deepening of it in the simplicity, bringing it back down to one word that can pop up in the background every now and then that you don't have to think of as a mantra or hold on to. And if it serves you for a little bit, you can use that. You can use one word in, clarity. One word out, fear. Now those are general terms, and for some people, and this is the thing to tweak for yourself, what works for you? Some people with these broad terms, unless you're really tuned into what it means for you, it can be actually really ambiguous. It sounds nice, but it's so ambiguous. And one of the things that's coming up right now is the idea that people say, oh, no judgment. And it's so funny when they say that, because automatically what I hear is there's judgment. It just may be that the old version of judgment I've let go of some of that. And this more subtle version of judgment, I haven't actually acknowledged that's there. Because we're infinite beings having a human experience. And in my human experience, there's still so much judgment. And I know this because there's still so much judgment against myself for some of the actions, for some of the words, for some of the feelings that I have. And the feelings piece is so tricky because it's almost like an automatic response. And so part of this intention setting is actually practicing getting that automatic response for yourself. What is it that I want to practice with right now? Not what sounds good to someone else. Because that's what you'll notice as well, especially when you sit around a circle and everyone's sharing their intentions, that they start to line up sometimes. Or if the first one is kind of positive or quirky or something else, others may feel the pressure to do the same as if there's a right intention. There's just the intention for right now for you as you are. And the intention really is to get as clear as you can about who the you is right now that wants to experience this breath. And where does that person want to go without trying to please anyone else? Whether it's, someone that you care about who said, oh, this is something you need to work on. Whether you're like, oh, this is something that's important for work. Whether you think, oh, this is the logical thing to do. Part of this is to step outside of the logic, step outside the masculine side of the brain, step into the feminine, which can see the whole, the bigger picture, can feel it all. And to feel your mind, body, feelings, and spirit together and say, what is it that wants to come through right now? And then how to distill that. Distillation is removing all the impurities out of water. So distill all the impurities out to get to that pure single word if you can. And then from there, what's possible. And the practice for this is so you can notice you've got your own feedback mechanism. How did that intent work for me this time? Did it allow me to get deeper into my experience, or did it actually hinder me? Was there one that sounded so good, but I was like, I didn't feel like I get anything out of it? Or, and here's the next layers and layers, because there's always going to be more layers, or am I now fooling myself thinking it doesn't work so I don't do it again? There's so many ways we play with ourselves. And I say this because I noticed it. I thought my own inner critic had gotten so good. Like I remember the old voice used to be so mean. And it's like the new voice is actually quite nice. And it was only when I was actually getting support from some amazing souls who could speak with my guides, who could speak with my ancestors, to remind me and reflect me, your inner critic is actually really loud. I can hear them, it's so loud. And you're unaware of it because you've been fooling yourself. And it took a few different people saying the same thing for me to realize, oh, there's some truth there. It's not the truth, but there's truth there. And so how do I actually be with him? How do I love him? How do I have compassion for him? And as I do so, I can get clear on my own intents, what I really want. So take a look at your intentions, play with it. As you're listening to the beginning part of the breath session, feel free to journal, feel free to write to yourself. This is not about you receiving a lecture. This is about creating space for you to drop in to get whatever benefit you need from this time and space. All right, love you. Can't wait to dive in again.